Here we are today out again. Main purpose today for coming out here is try to catch one so we can do a catch, clean and cook with the northerns. Try to get the bones out, show you how to do that. So let's get at her. I don't know if he bit it or what here. I don't know what's happening there. I'm going to get this one out. He might have bit it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, fish on. Crazy one. I got one of them. Chased it there. Eh? Swallowed that minnow down good. Took some persuading again there, but I don't know. Hooked well. Well, that's one for the clean and the cook. It's not a bad size one, not too big, not too small. We'll keep it. We got a nice pike for deboning, 27 inches long. You don't want to go too much smaller there. The bones are real soft. You can cut through them and the meat is really mushy, so this seems to be a pretty good size. The number one thing for doing this is you have to have, I usually have two knives. A real sharp knife for taking out the bones, and a nice bigger knife, not as sharp, for taking off the skin. So for the first part here, we're going to use the sharp knife. So what you do is you cut around the gill plate, just like normally cleaning any fish. Go down the backbone. When you get to the tail, you can shove your knife right through. Go right out to the tail. I'm trying to get you to see this, and it's pretty hard. As you go now, you just take your knife and cut nice down. You hear you're cutting off the Y bone, and we go around the ribs. Don't take the ribs, leave the ribs on there like a lot of people do. You go around the ribs. Just let your knife, if it's sharp, it'll follow around real nice. I don't take the belly meat, cut it off at the fins. And there you have it. There's one fillet, but you still have that Y bone. So what we'll do now is we'll flip it over. We'll do the same thing to the other side to get the fillet off. Stuck here. Again, cutting around the gill plate to the back. Follow along the backbone. Past the fin. Right down to the tail. And now you just peel it off to the tail. There's no bones from the rear end backwards to the tail. There's very few bones you have to worry about there. And now again, you take that meat off. Cut through, you'll see the rib bones, you'll feel it. You'll cut through those Y bones, that's normal at this point. There's the rib bones. We're going around them. Don't take that belly meat. Just go back. Keep going. There you see, another nice fillet, but still has those crazy Y bones in at this point. Okay, rid of this. A lot of people on YouTube do the 5-piece method. This is the 1-piece method. You do it in 1 piece. You got to visualize how the bones go, but once you do it a few times, you'll understand it and it'll be a lot easier. As you run your hand down the fillet, you'll feel the little picky. So what you do, you always put the back of the fillet, the top, towards you, and you cut down till you feel those Y bones. And in the bigger pike, you're not going to cut through them. And what you do is you just follow them, back to the tail, follow them, and there's one side. The upper side, the other side of the Y, is the lateral line that runs right down the center. You cut down, follow the lateral line, and now you go to the back, you're going on the bottom side of the Y bone. Now sometimes, if it's a big enough pike, you take the strip out and it'll be alright. But as you see here, you're taking the strip out, back to the tail, and there's the bones. That's all the Y bones in there. You see the fillet here? From the lateral line back, the bones are all out. That's one. Do a second one. Back towards you. Run your fingers down, feel the little picky picks of the Y. Cut on the back side of that Y. Now with your sharp knife, go towards the back. Go towards the back. You're following along the Y bone. You're not cutting through them. You're using it as a guide. And as you can see, there's one side. Now you've got the lateral line. Cut along the lateral line. Follow the lateral line. Cut through, and this is where the sharp knife comes in real handy. Rory wants to come out and have some fish, but she's going to have to wait. There's the other strip of Y bones. Put your hand in there, you want to double check. Feels good to me. So there's 2 deboned fillets. Now we have to get it off the string. Some people keep this here, you can boil it, make soup. You're wasting a little bit of meat, but you're not wasting that much in my opinion. Now you take your other knife, which is a little bit duller. Big knife, not that big a fillet. Cut down to the skin, and you start going along the skin. Now what you do here is you move the fillet. You hardly move the knife, you're wiggling the skin. And you're going along here on the skin. As you can see, there's the skin. And here is a deboned pike fillet. 1 piece. Not the 5-piece method, in which my opinion is kind of a messy way of doing it. Get rid of that. This isn't the best way of filming. I'm trying to do this the best angles to show you, but once you do this a few times, you'll get the gist of it. It's not hard. I used to eat the bones for years and years and years until my dad at work talked to an old Polish guy and he showed him this method, and that's what we've been doing ever since. Just check to make sure there's nothing else going on here. Bones, if it seems all good, no ribs, pieces of rib. Take your big knife, start at the tail, down to the skin, get started. Now move the skin, wiggle the skin, a little bit of pressure, not too much pressure. Here's the skin. Here's a deboned 100% pike fillet. To me, that's the way to do it. Simple. Takes a few times to practice it to get the gist of it, but when you visualize how the bones are positioned in there and what you're doing with those 2 cuts, it's no problem. Sharp knife is the key. On to the cooking. Well, here we are in the kitchen going to do the cooking part of the video. For years and years and years, we used beer batter to cook fish, which was very good. But in the last little while, we switched over to a recipe that my mother-in-law Laura passed down. Crushed crackers with seasoning and everything. I made a few modifications. I do a thing called double dipping it, where we put 2 layers of coating on it. So I'll go through that, and we'll go now and check out the ingredients. This recipe is rather simple. First of all, I've only used half of the pike, like 1 fillet, just to make 1 batch to shorten this video up a little bit. You cut it in chunks, I don't know, 1 inch wide, say, not too big as you want to fry through good. You use the premium crackers. These are salted, so I won't add any salt to it. You use a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of pepper, a half a teaspoon of paprika, and a half a teaspoon of onion powder. That makes the coating with the crushed crackers. The crackers, you do the old way, put them in a Ziploc, take the rolling pin, and crush them all up nice. That makes the coating. For the liquid part, I use Frank's, which is a little different add-on. You can use that to taste. If you like it hot, give it lots. An egg and some cream. And you just mix it up whatever you think you like there. It's a kind of a hit and miss thing. If you like it more spicier, give her. Same as that paprika. Here's the finished product. The crushed crackers there. Crushed pretty fine. All mixed up. We'll pour it on a plate. Not all of it. Some of it. For the first dose of the batter. Coating. Take my fork. We got our egg, probably a 1/4 cup of cream, a little bit of Frank's. Mix that all up nice. Now take our fish after we washed it nice, dip it into Frank's and mixture with the milk and the egg, and put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, as we're going to freeze that for probably about 10 or 15 minutes just to harden it up. We'll coat it all nice. Like I said, I'm not doing the whole fish. We're going to do 1 batch here. This will go faster. The video is long enough as it is. Make sure the pieces aren't touching. Last piece. This is only 1 fillet, so it wasn't too bad a size. Okay, here's your fish on the parchment. And put her in for approximately 10 minutes. You check it out and see as she hardens. Okay, it's been about 10-12 minutes. I'm going to check her out here and see what she looks like. Getting there. I think I'm going to try her. Patience is a virtue, I know. I'm going to double dip it on a plate because I'm running out of hands here, and I want to make sure that the grease is warm enough. So again, same as last time, dip it in the egg and milk and Frankie's mixture. Re-dip it in the crackers. And with parchment it doesn't stick when it freezes. There you go, twice dipped. Okay, she's ready to go. We got about 3/4 of an inch of oil in the pan, whatever you would like. I cranked it for a while, and now I'm going to back it off there because you want to take time to cook, but you got to get the temperature up. In she goes. Well, there you have it there. I think she's all done. You get them out of the grease here. Put them on a paper towel to drain off a little bit. Probably not the most healthiest fish to eat, but I think it's the most tastiest fish you're going to get. I always put a little bit of salt on it. I know it's not healthy, but that helps drain off some of the grease and keep the fish crispier much longer. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get any better than that anywhere. Well, there you have it for the cooking part of the Catch, Clean, and Cook. I think it turned out pretty good. Laura's crushed cracker recipe, double dipped, and I don't think you're going to find any better fish than that anywhere. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Hope you learned something. If you did, smash the like button. And now is the fourth part of the video that I didn't mention, which is the best part, which is eating. Thanks for watching.